Hello, Lynn Watts here with Wyatt the Wonder Dog Books. And today I'm going to talk about a stress relief strategy that you can easily teach to really the youngest of children, probably not toddlers, but beginning in kindergarten for sure, and on up to adults. You can teach this particular strategy, and it's called box breathing. There's probably some other names for it, but box is most descriptive because as I describe what is involved in it, you'll see why. So I'm going to talk about that, and I'm also going to talk about times that students could use it, and you know why it is such a good technique to teach. So there's a lot of good attributes of this particular type of breathing. And there's also a lot of practical applications where it's already been used a lot. Before I do that, though, I do want to mention that if you're looking for some breathing exercises, you can find it in my Wyatt book, Stories to Learn By. It looks something like this. And in the lesson on listening, there is a section on different types of breathing strategies that you can teach. And these are great ideas for teaching students for relaxation, for stress management, for anger management, all kinds of different situations. So you can find that in the Stories to Learn By book. It's also in the family activity book that I have, which is similar to Stories to Learn By, but designed specifically for families. There are no lesson plans in there. Didn't think that was necessary, but all of the tools and worksheets, coloring sheets, things like that are in there. So box breathing simply means breathing in through the nose, breathing in for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, breathing out through the mouth for 4 counts, and then holding for 4 counts. So you can see why it's called box breathing. It's like a square or a box. You can vary this if you need to. For instance, if you have a child that 4 counts seems too long, you can make it 3 counts. The idea behind it, though, is that when it is a box, when you think of it as the same count for each thing, it's much easier to remember. So again, breathing in through the nose, sitting up tall, holding for that count of 4, breathing out, and you can say, just breathe out like you were blowing out a candle or you were blowing on something hot, some hot soup or something. You can use some images with this if you need that to help children remember it and teach it. So why does it work? I think it's always helpful to let children know why this is effective. One is because when we're feeling stressed out or we're feeling angry or we're having any kind of intense emotions like that, usually our mind is racing with a lot of thoughts that are fueling that feeling. And when you stop and have to count, you're obviously interrupting that kind of hamster wheel sort of thinking or monkey mind kind of thinking, whatever you want to call it. And instead you're inserting something else so that the mind becomes a little relaxed. It also relaxes the whole body. It slows down your breathing, obviously, so you're not breathing fast and shallow. You want to, make it a deep breath. And it also calms down the whole nervous system, calms down the heart, all of these things. So in many ways, it is a really very effective strategy. The other beauty of this particular strategy is that you can do it and nobody even knows that you're doing it. So I used to teach it in schools. I would teach it before testing so that students had a strategy if they needed to help themselves relax before an important test. And students can use it before anything that maybe gets them stressed out, whether that is a particular meeting, whether maybe that is a game, a team sport that they're on. Maybe there's a big important game and they're nervous before they start to play. And maybe they have to give a speech or they have to get up in front of the class. Maybe that makes them nervous. They could use box breathing. So it's very effective And of course, adults use it as well. In fact, my understanding is that it's taught to the Navy SEALs. Certainly, that's a group of people that can have a lot of stress and anxiety, and it's taught as a relaxation strategy because it not only relaxes you, but it also keeps you focused. You're not like, you know, not able to pay attention while you're doing it. I should say, though, along those lines, you can teach it to parents who could use it to help a child go to sleep. Why? Because it relaxes the body, interrupts the thinking, uh, settles a child down so that they can lay still and can think about the breathing and about the counting and so on. So there's many really good things about this particular type of breathing. If you look in my Stories to Learn by lesson plan book and under the listening lesson, there's some other types of breathing that you could also teach children to just learn to relax or help them to kind of focus and to calm them down. So, but this is probably one of the best well-known and most standard types of strategies. And I'd really encourage you to teach it to all your students so that they, and obviously you teach it during a time when they are calm. You don't try and teach it when they're stressed out or upset, although you can use it then. But the best thing to do is to teach it at a point when they can learn it, and then you can simply kind of co-regulate along with them. If they're distressed or upset or stressed out, you can say, let's take a deep breath and now let's hold it for a count of 4. And they already know what you're doing and they're ready to follow through on that. So I'd recommend teaching it at a calm moment, but you can also use it when you find a student that is stressed out. So that's for my tip for today in terms of a breathing strategy that can help students relax. As always, thanks so much for listening, and thanks for all you do for young children.